pay attention to the garage, but you gotta walk through there to get to the house.
You gonna deer hunt maybe up?
I did.
You get anything?
I know.
Messed up a little spot for me, but,
Right across in front of me with your car. Yeah, so you like to happen. Come in on the driveway to come here, and there's one standing right on the driveway. I'm watching, so I'm looking at the cat over here.
My grandson got a big spike yesterday.
Front door open.
Yeah. You know, that seems to be the size this year. A lot of guys are doing that. A lot of guys are
That's
doing
good.
that.
Coming 24.
I was at the station, so it's.
Okay, that's the
That's
answer
good.
around. I tried pulling my hand over the sensors, like they want to turn on for me.
Back door open.
Will you shut it? Thank you.
Because I get, this is a Chevy, or this is a Buick, and I used to have, you should think, I said, I don't think, oh, yeah, but, you know, I'm the crazy.
I'm gonna go.
Are you?
Yeah.
Turn one on or off, whatever, but it was still one setting. This is,
But it's on the 14th.
because I can't see
Or
the
Monday.
crap anymore, it's symbols.
I can't see that.
But
I can't figure out half the stuff on my car.
I can't either. Oh, I love it. I don't ever turn it off in the winter time.
One person will go to sleep, but I usually can't take the truck.
And you used it?
Well, it comes on.
Under a certain temperature, yeah. So it's under a certain temperature, yeah. I haven't tested whether the seat warmers come on automatically in this car,
Yeah, mine do.
but it really hasn't been that cold. So the Bill's do on his truck. Does you have buttons on your steering wheel or anything? Bill uses those. That's all on your screen? Really? Now see, I know, Jeep, you could adjust the temperature for both sides of the car. My car that I have now is a diet. Like, you can turn it warmer or cooler. But trying to get it set just right is. So did they point out where it is? Is it on the steering wheel? Oh, see, mine was on the dash, so. I thought maybe I didn't have it, although I had heated seats. But I do, it's just that it was button on the steering wheel. I used it on the way down here, and my hands are still cold.
7 o'clock, call the meeting to order. It's all right, pledge allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And motion to approve the agenda. Moved and seconded to approve the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
guys, real quick, for the month of October of 2024, for our Township Police Department, we had 280 calls for service, 154 of those were traffic stops, 7 traffic offenses, 7 property damage accidents, 9 car deer property damage accidents, 5 personal injury accidents, 10 alarms, and 5 juvenile complaints, 3 of which were at Murphy Elementary. For the village by itself, we had a total of 26 numbers for the month. 2 of them were ORV complaints involving golf carts driving past hours. There's several traffic stops on here, and nothing of any real major significance this month in the village. The officers have been doing some extra patrol enforcement in the village, and then also out on Baldwin Road, we've had some increased numbers of complaints of traffic complaints within the village, and also other areas of the township. Just a reminder, we got the Westselling Parade coming up December 1st, and we'll be doing traffic control there December 1st at 2 p.m. And it usually takes about a half hour for that parade, so hopefully people can get through. And it's usually on Saturday, but this year it's on Sunday. Other than that, that's really all I have. If you guys have any questions for me, gladly take them.
Okay, thank you. Fire report.
So we had 25 total runs last month. 13 medicals, 4 PIs, 8 fires. We had the fire over here at the White Horse. 3 false alarms, 1 carbon dioxide alarm, 2 assist to Lapeer, and 1 assist Oxford we got canceled on.
Thank you. County Commissioner.
Good evening. At our committee of the whole meeting last Thursday at the historic courthouse. Beautiful building. If you haven't been there, you should check it out. A few things here. We had a lot on our agenda this last week. One of the big things was approval of the Village and Township Police contracts. It doesn't affect Metamora, have their own police department. Took care of that for many other areas. Approved acceptance of Michigan Drug Court and Mental Health grant programs for fiscal year 2025. Approved a request from CMH to contract with a new auditing firm. The current auditing firm, UHY, pulled out of auditing services for mental health agencies, so that's the reason for that change. Accepted amendments for fiscal year 2025 MDHHS allocations for hearing, vision, and kindergarten oral health assessment programs in schools. Got an increased funding for that. Approved renewal of independent contractor agreement for indigent defense program. Approved a request for the annual Homeland Security grant. This grant is going to be used for a new fit tester. Fit tester we currently have is older, not serviceable. If something were to happen to it, we're going to be able to do fit testing for the masks for the fire department, so we're using those funds to get a new one. Approved our agreement between Lapeer County and the Lapeer ISD for their fiber optic network usage for internet services for the county. Added Amy Stearns, the new Register of Deeds, to the Lapeer County Building Authority Board to replace Jackie Arnold, who announced her retirement. Approved purchase of a new truck for use by the new maintenance employee at CMH, along with a snow plow. We are going to be taking over the current DHHS building, county does own it. CMH has needed additional space, so we did not renew the lease to the state for that building, so that we can take that over for CMH services, and that will come with some increased maintenance. Reason for that. Approved bid for a company called CCR to proceed with construction of the new animal control building using ARPA funds. Current animal control building, if you haven't been in there, is not meant to be an animal control facility. When they bring animals in, they have to bring them into the lobby. Sometimes there's customers in there. It's not a very big space. can cause a hazard situation with unknown animals. Also, because there's a little bit of a distance between the door and the vehicles, they've had some gotaways. So, not a good situation, so the new building is gonna be better suited for that and have an area, a gated area where they can pull in and close the gate in a secure area so when they're moving animals, they don't have the risk of them getting away from them. Authorized buildings and grounds to proceed with some additional repairs and maintenance at General Squire Park for lighting, parking lot repairs, signage, paint, and other minor repairs using funds that were left over from a previous allocation for the park. Set our next full board meeting to this week, November 21st at 9 a.m. Due to the Thanksgiving holiday next week. Normally we have our meetings every 2 weeks, but the holidays upend that sometimes. So our full board meeting will be this week on Thursday. And then we approved the juvenile court to purchase online programming for their diversion program. It's for online programs to address shoplifting, drug use, alcohol use, consequences of a crime, impulse control, anger management for youths that are low-level offenses to try and divert them from more serious interactions with our courts and law enforcement. And the last thing, Lapeer Historic Courthouse is having a holiday gala. Tickets are $50 for adults, $10 for children, 12 and under. You can get these tickets from the Center for the Arts in downtown Lapeer, Buildings and Parks Department, or Eventbrite online. And that is on Thursday, December 5th, 2024, from 5:30 to 8:30. Appetizers and drinks, a 50-50 raffle, silent auction, holiday music, and Mr. and Mrs. Claus will be here, so make sure Santa requests in. And that's all I've got. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Apologize, I gotta step out and save another meeting.
Yeah, I apologize, I haven't been here for the last couple of months because people keep scheduling meetings on the same night, so I gotta go.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Front
Our
door
meeting was canceled.
open.
Nothing on the agenda, no sense in burning dollars.
Okay, thank you. DDA, you wanna comment on all the fun things?
Well, we're doing the lights.
Yeah.
We're working on doing a wagon out by 24 by Choice One Bank. It says, a wagon with a sign on it, it lights, get it all lit up. And it'll say like, shopping or downtown Metamora. They put an arrow pointing down here.
Wagon.
Yeah, so like a hay wagon.
Like a hay
Like a
wagon.
hay wagon.
Where is this gonna be?
By Choice One.
Oh.
Just for the holiday lights, just for, yeah,
Oh.
it'll be all lit up and we'll
Okay.
have like packages on it or whatever.
Okay.
Just for the holiday season.
Okay.
They did that, so they cleared the head mark, thank you, Mark Edwards cleared the trails out there behind the Lions Hall.
Well, basically
Well,
Bloom Moss Field,
Yes.
and
They had them
they're
cleaned
gonna
up.
start dumping wood chips up there in a pile for us, where we can kinda keep them covered a little better.
Trying to open it up more for people to get out and walk up there. We're talking about doing,
A little bit of signage to, where they know that the trails are open now, here now, so.
we also talked about doing like dog bags. Where you pull a dog bag, because if you go down here, there's a lot of dog feces down here, there's a lot up there. So, maybe if there's a bag out there for them, they'll make a second. So not much, that's pretty much,
That's it.
Hopefully they'll pick the bag up again.
that's it, yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
It was kind of funny when Bill said it, because Bill had actually said, you know, most people when their dog goes, and, you know, Bill's blind, they look the other way like this. I didn't see nothing. I said, they'll probably still do that, but.
You'll see it in our yard a lot.
Yeah, so
I
if
see
you programs. They did talk about, Leah was gonna look into the different things that they offered. Cause some of them had like a little small trash can underneath them, you know, but she was gonna look and see what was out there. And, yes, but have like just one at this end, one at that end, couple up there, just maybe to help.
Yeah.
Cause it's,
Won't hurt.
yeah, kind of getting out of control with that.
Like that they've been using the trail some, but, you know, they take the
Right.
trash.
Right.
You know.
And I know you walk your dog, so you see it.
Yeah, I also carry bags with me, and
Yes.
I have to carry them all the way home, so.
Most pet owners do. And you see it, you know what, you see it on the, usually on the,
Yeah, I don't see it as much through town. Everybody seems to be pretty good along sidewalks and stuff.
That's my yard.
I don't ever.
That's my yard.
They like to go to your yard, I don't know.
Okay, go on, attorney report,
My item's on the agenda.
I figured. Council communications.
I did wanna mention that we moved the veteran stone, I don't know if you noticed, I know we were gonna get together, and I never got with you, so I just had Nick and Brian, they actually moved it. They moved it over where the other stone is in the park, if that's not where we want it, they said they can move it somewhere else. Talking about maybe building it up towards kind of more on an angle, so it's not just a flat, but for now, they at least got it away from over here and more visible. I know we were talking about gonna try to clean it off, and, yes.
So I was talking to somebody the other day about cleaning headstones. They said the best thing to do is a soft brush and Dawn dish soap.
Yep.
So, yep. And they were right from a monument place.
I have a clerk friend that does a lot of the old cemeteries, and that's what she uses, so.
Yeah.
Yep. So, that's it, that I can think of right now.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna talk about that under new business.
All right, that's right, let's get there now.
Yeah.
Need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion.
One second.
Moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Public time.
So I kind of felt like you guys were doing everything you can not to call that Metamora Community Park. You're saying trails behind the lines, it's not behind the lines. It is behind the balloon launch field, but again, that's Metamora Community Park. And I had actually printed this off for Mrs. Griswold because you had a question that we have only one park here. We have two parks, I've established this a whole bunch. In the Metamora Recreation Plan, which the township and the village paid thousands of dollars to row to write, it is called Metamora Community Park multiple times. And I printed off the deeds for you. So I don't know why this is still a question, but there you go. And again, 11 years, 3 months, no signs out there. $350,000 spent on that park and nothing welcoming people in. Absolutely get some signs up as soon as possible. Again, that's a few $100. They can always be changed. You can even change the name at some point. You're not tied to Metamora Community Park, but gosh, that's a good place to start. So in your packets today, yes, the Planning Commission meeting was canceled. The only place it was canceled was on that door, and probably you communicated to the Planning Commission members. It wasn't on the Facebook page for the village, because I checked before I
It
came.
was on our website the day before, the morning before.
No, it wasn't when I checked that night. At 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock I checked it. It was still on there as happening. So, yeah, I mean, this is, not 1892 anymore. We have social media. You can just in 2 seconds put that up there and say, hey, it's canceled. So, I also wanted to bring up some comments Mr. Denney made at the end of the last meeting, because I had brought up the thing no one wants to talk about, which is the contamination site that's right over there. And I video recorded it, I audio recorded it, and then I transcribed his comments there. He said, I'd just like to address the contamination issue. I have looked at the contamination maps, and they have tracked, the EPA has tracked the system through here that seems kind of hodgepodge and put together. Just hook into the Great Lakes Water Authority. And Mr. Denney, please stop calling it Detroit Water. The Great Lakes Water Authority is again, the service. It services the municipalities around here. It is not some kind of strange thing coming from Detroit. It is its own thing that does an excellent job. I lived in Lapeer for 10 years. It was great water. So again, please do not interpret maps, leave that to the experts. And the EPA has only existed since 1970, and that is not many, many years ago. I would say many, many decades would be like 20 decades. So we're only at a few decades, and that landfill was only closed in 1980. So again, that's only a few decades, that's not many, many. So, and I think those are important things. And also, Janet, I want to point out that when I said it had been about 3.5 years since the village voted to allow the water extension, you said, no, it was 6. I knew it was 3.5, I looked it up in the minutes. Let's be accurate. And also, if you haven't read the 7th 5-year review report for that landfill, I would suggest it's available right online. So, how much time do I have left?
1 minute.
All right. So I will give you a copy of this. Chief Davis still got the golf carts out really late at night, in the dark. Halloween, and I know everybody wants to be nice and say, yeah, let people drive their golf carts around. I was just trying to get home after work one night, and they're darting in and out and in and out and in and out. And it was madness, trying not to hit people and hit all these golf carts. That you can't see the edges of the golf carts, right? It's not like cars that are designed with all of those reflectors. So, thank you.
Thank you. Water main extension.
About a month or month and a half ago, we had a meeting with quite a number of the representatives from the landfill selling group, and had a fairly long discussion. We reiterated our request for a cash cushion for liability purposes, and there was a lot of discussion about, they were nervous about just plopping the money down into the hands of the village with no restrictions, and so they indicated that they would come up with a proposed escrow agreement. I made it very clear to them that if they set it up in such a way that we had to beg for the money, and as soon as the person said no, it took us 2 years to get any money out of the fund, that I would not recommend it. But they have been working on it. The EPA has had a conference call with us twice in the last 60 days. First time they said, please get moving on this. And the second meeting, the landfill selling group said they're working on it. They had some drafts working their way through the system. We have another EPA call that they scheduled for November 21st to see where they're at on the progress. So we're just waiting for them to give us a draft. We'll see what it says.
Okay. Hopefully we can get something moving on it. New business.
Well, many of you know, or most of you do know, I think, that Larry's term was up. He chose not to rerun in the election, which nobody ran. We had 3 spots available, 2 people ran. That means that his term would be up effective November 20th. We do have to appoint someone to fill the vacancy. Larry has expressed that he would be willing to fill that 2-year, because it'd be a 2-year partial term, that he didn't want to be committed to 4 years, but 2 years is definitely doable. And I did reach out to the attorneys to find out if we had to advertise it like we have in the past, and they stated no, since Larry has expressed that he wanted to serve, that we could go ahead and reappoint him if the council so choose, and that he could fill the seat effective the first day of the new term, which would be November 21st. Or November 20th. Sorry. So, that's where we're at.
Do we need a motion?
Yep.
Yes.
I'll make the motion to reappoint Larry Morris, please.
For a 2-year partial
For 2
term.
years, 2 years.
Second it, Tina.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to reappoint Larry. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? You get a couple more years, Larry.
Oh,
Thank you.
boy.
Thank you, thank you.
But just so you guys know, Larry had been on the board since October 16th of 1995, so, he at least wants to make it to 30 years. And Marci, you actually seconded the motion to put him on the board, so just a little fun fact.
Fun fact.
Yep. Rosa Sweat, made the motion and you seconded.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Aye.
Going down memory lane.
Okay.
Really?
There's no other discussion on that, it's all passed, so. We'll go to one more public time.
So, about the wassailing parade, my neighbor, called me and said, hey, did you get this flyer that the chamber sent out about that? And I said, no, I don't, I'm a renter, they don't send us things like that here. And I got that was probably the chamber sending it. But again, I wanna urge you to treat even us renters like residents here, because we are. And even if you don't see our names on the tax checks, we are providing the money to pay the tax checks. And that's exactly why I get a tax deduction every year for paying it. So, again, it'd be really nice if you included us in the community.
I didn't get one.
Okay, well then, hey, maybe that's a bigger problem than that, but as I brought up before, you know. So, Tina is still administrator of Metamora Michigan Gang on Facebook, which again, I find extremely problematic for a local government official. And I find it really, really odd, Tina, that you'd even want to be part of a group where people start to post just such vitriolic political things. And one of the things I got posted within the last couple weeks was Andrew Fabian, the gun shop owner, who tried to have a gun shop on Blood Road and got pretty mad at the community when that didn't happen, but kind of seems angry in general. And he did this publicly, so that's why I'm saying his name. Posted a sign on Blood Road. It was a Harris Walls campaign sign. Now, it doesn't matter your opinion of Harrison Walls, but what was painted on there was the N-word. The N-word was painted on there. And so many people in this community, he was applauding the person for doing that, and so many people in this community also applauded it. And again, Tina is admin of this group where that kind of thing happens. And I told this story before, but it was the week that I moved in, about 7.5 years ago, on the stop sign right by my house, the N-word appeared on that stop sign that week. And I posted it on Facebook. Tina and I were Facebook friends at this time, and she said, well, you know, we think it was just kids kind of being silly and we're going to get it painted, but, you know, not to be racial or anything, to quote what she said. But I haven't seen anyone around the neighborhood. I actually had seen an African-American person in our neighborhood just within a couple days of that appearing. So just, you know, I think as leaders in our community, I would like you to be on guard for that kind of thing. Hate crimes went up significantly during the first Trump presidency. Whether you like them or not, it's just a fact, the FBI says. And so is it going to happen again? I sure hope not. But you as leaders in this community, it'd be really nice if we could not have that happen and not excuse it if it does happen. So in your packets, I presented this last week at the township. I finally went through, it took me a lot of hours to go through everything that I saw happening that was unsafe, or even just kind of an overview of what I saw was unsafe at the Balloon Festival and Metamora Days. I hope that every single one of you reads every part of this. I put a lot of the comments in that appeared online that had nothing to do with me or anybody I know. I don't even know the people who posted them. But what they encountered trying to get to that festival, in and out of it, seeing people try to cross the sidewalk by the festival and almost getting run over, it was just chaos. Everybody here is responsible for making it a better plan next year. And gosh, I hope you've changed that special event application and made it a whole lot more detailed and at least somewhat on par with the other municipalities around here, because that is just so negligent to allow it. My cousin, who is the hydrogeologist, made a point to me, and she said that she worked with this city, the small municipality, that had a failing water system. And then their wells actually went dry every summer, but they persisted in keeping that system, even though it caused a lot of hardship to folks. And she said they did it because of the revenue. So I hope that you all keep in mind that we do not want to be like that, all right? Eventually they had to hook into the neighboring system. But gosh, I hope revenue is not going to be a driver on that. And Tina, I just want to point out that right after the vote in March 2021, you told the Flint Journal it would take about a year to construct the extension line, and we are years past that now. You said it in an article. So yeah, and I also just wanted to remark on what Dave Best said at the end of the last meeting, that you guys give 2 public times, and I'm sure it's super annoying to hear me twice, 10 minutes every month. he got a letter from the Fire Foundation because he tried to limit free speech here in this township. Because, you know, he said specifically it was me and one other person why he was trying to do it. Don't follow his lead, because fire does not back down, so, thank you.
Thank you. No other public time, I'd entertain one more motion.
I'll make that motion.